My husband betrayed me by having an affair with my best friend. Now they have come to me to order a birthday cake for their son, and it was my ex-husband's idea. I married someone I deeply adore. We met in college and got married shortly after graduation. I chose to stay at home because my husband, 34, made a lot of money. I gave him everything, backed his business, cooked for him, cleaned for him, and basically spoiled him because I loved him. I believed that if I was a good wife and nourished him, he would love me back. It went well for about 5 years. I learned he was cheating on me after seeing a random hotel receipt. I looked into it a little and discovered that he was, in fact, cheating on me, and his AP was my closest friend, Kylie, 31. My 2 closest friends deceived me. Kylie gave me a vague excuse, saying she didn't mean to upset me but had fallen in love with him. His reason was, "You no longer make me feel special. You've just become bored and let yourself go." I agree. I was a tad fat back then due to my medications. Also, I was constantly too exhausted to exercise. I attempted the route of reconciliation but failed. He left me for Kylie. This entire situation let me recognize who my true friends were and who were phony. There were those who were impartial, but just 2 of them, Josh and Marie, supported me and cut Kylie off. I was truly devastated. I felt worthless without him. I lost my husband, my best friend, my home, and my life. I stayed with Marie for a time. She gave me a minor position in her catering firm. I enjoy food. When I was married, I prepared a variety of meals for my ex-husband. Cooking was just really therapeutic for me. During that time, Marie's mother gave me some important advice. The average human life spans 75 years. You're already 27. Are you so dumb that you want to spend the rest of your life grieving for a man who never loved you? That truly stayed with me. My trust concerns stem from my husband's adultery. I had difficulty dating, so I avoided it for a while. I focused on improving myself. While catering, I interacted with a large number of people and formed numerous contacts. I've always wanted to start my own business, and because I enjoy preparing food, a customer I was catering for inspired me to start a baking business. My pals were also very helpful. Within a few years, I had established a modest but successful baking business. I'm starting to feel more like myself now that I'm free. I didn't realize I had so much spare time because I wasn't busy caring for a giant human. My home was spotless. Nobody is dumping filthy clothing on the floor. Nobody is instructing me to create anything else because they aren't in the mood for a specific dish. Nobody puts filthy dishes into the sink. I began to embrace the solitude. I know the things I described aren't significant, but they were a major relief. Furthermore, nobody questions me when I walk out. I don't have to answer to anyone before heading out. I can take a lengthy drive without asking for permission. I learned a new language in my spare time. I concentrated more on family and friends who truly love me, and being rejected made me see the red signals I overlooked in my marriage. I took it as a lesson to avoid trash men in my life. I dated a few men, but none of them seemed nice to me. It did not disturb me much. I am content being alone and carefree. I regard my divorce as a blessing rather than a curse. I do feel alone at times, but Kylie recently called and told me that she regrets marrying my ex since he never praises her and always puts the load of everything on her. They now have 2 children, but my ex does not help her with any household tasks. She is often fatigued and exhausted after caring for 2 children and an adult. It simply made me realize that it would have been me if my husband had not cheated on me with Kylie. I simply told her, "Well, you said you loved him, so he's your problem now. What's the point in coming to me?" That woman had the arrogance to suggest she needed a buddy. I blocked her phone number. I do not want to be in their lives. I sometimes feel like I've lost my prime because I'm already 33. I feel too old to start anew, yet I still want to find love one day. I am currently dating a guy who is divorced, like me, because his wife cheated on him, so we'll see how things go. I, 33, am in a bit of a pickle. You see, my ex-best friend, 31, had an affair with my ex-husband, 34, while we were married. Our friendship went apart right there. I had no communication with her until a month ago. She called and told me she was unhappy with her life. I've gone on with my life. I don't need their pranks. I own a little baking business. It is fairly new, except for weddings. I only accept cake orders for special occasions such as birthdays, graduations, and reunions. I have some ambitions to expand, and I hope to have my own bakery someday. A few days ago, I received an order from my ex-best pal. She asked me to bake desserts for her son's first birthday, and not simply a birthday cake. She also wants a dessert portion at her birthday party. It is a large order, and the money is good. It will be beneficial to my business, but as you can see, she and I have a history. This made me wonder why she expected me to do it. My ex is from a well-off family. He also has a well-paying job. She could easily hire the top baker in town. Why does she want me to do this? My business is not particularly large. It made me think she was attempting to get my attention or sabotaging my business. Or maybe she just wanted to talk to me after I rejected her the last time. On the other hand, the businesswoman inside me tells me to accept it. I know I can accomplish it. The party is massive. Many people will come from privileged backgrounds. I can promote my company to those people. It will increase my revenue as well. I am thinking that if I avoid her as much as possible, everything will be fine, but I am not sure. I am stuck in the middle. I need some solid advice. My ex-best friend, who married my ex-husband, asked me to bake a cake for her son's birth. Sorry to disappoint you, but I accepted the order. It appeared too beautiful to give to someone else. Call me a greedy businesswoman all you want, but like you mentioned, ask for an upfront payment. I asked for it, and they paid in advance. I always want a full payment. I also reduced touch with my ex-best pal. So far, our interaction has been via email. I also have a family friend who serves as my helper. He is aware of my circumstance and serves as the go-between. I'm chronicling everything. I understand I'm taking a major risk with this, but I'm prepared to see where it leads. Also, I learned that hiring me was my ex-husband's idea, not hers. My ex found out about my services via a colleague and wanted to hire me. I haven't spoken with my ex about this. The most of my communications have been with my ex-best pal. Nothing major happened. I'm still working on it. I'll provide a detailed update after all of stuff is completed. Stay tuned. I decided to talk to my mother about it. I merely needed her opinion on this topic. She told me to do what I wanted. My boyfriend also pushed me to accept the order. He says if I have to stay to organize the dessert table, he will be there for me. I accepted the order, and it turned out to be my ex-husband's idea to engage me after one of his co-workers recommended my services to him. It was short notice, so I had to rush this anyway. I kept it entirely business-related. I did accept the payment in advance, as some of you have reported. I always ask for upfront payments. I usually communicated through email. My assistant, who is also a family friend, handles all communications for me. My ex-best friend tried several times to meet with me in person, but I urged her to email me instead because I also had cake orders for other people. I only had to meet her once in person to discuss the order. She sent me the party information via email, and as I previously indicated, it was a large order. I didn't just have to bake a birthday cake for the infant. It is themed around Pokemon. There were also cake pops, cupcakes, and macaroons. Fortunately, I had my buddy Marie over to help. Yes, I paid her. So, as usual, I went to deliver the cake and other party supplies. A table had already been set up at the location. My 35-year-old boyfriend Josh came with me to encourage me and keep me away from my ex-husband and ex-best friend as much as possible. While I was busy with myself, my ex approached me and said hello, NGL. Seeing him after so many years, my heart simply stopped. This man has caused me the most agonizing suffering imaginable. I'm glad I maintained my composure. I also said hello back. He tried to make small chat with me, saying he was sorry for how things turned out and what he said, and that I looked better than the last time he saw me. Then he dropped a large bomb. He claimed he'd been thinking about me all these years, wondering what I was up to, even if he is content with his married life. I remained silent. I didn't say anything. He continued saying that he misses me and my cuisine. My homemade French onion soup is his favorite. He misses it whenever he falls sick with the flu. I didn't know what to say at that point. Josh observed that my ex was making me uncomfortable, so he hurried up to me with a bogus emergency. He inquired if I was all right. I said yes. After the table was arranged, I was going to depart. That's when I noticed my ex-father-in-law, along with the other visitors. He recognized me and approached to offer me a hug. My ex-father-in-law is an extremely humble man. In fact, he was the only individual who supported me during my divorce with his son. He seemed overjoyed to see me and inquired how I was. He started chatting with me. I told him about my business, and he offered me some suggestions.